I am inoculating these two pieces of wood with oyster mushrooms via plugs, Doyle type things. And what I'll do is be drilling 1-inch holes and putting the plugs inside, letting it colonize. I got western hemlock right here, and I have some alder. So early research had me going in the western hemlock angle. Ultimately, though, now I'm starting to realize that alder might be the way to go, especially with oyster mushrooms. I took the bark off of them. Bark could harbor bacteria or competing organisms. So the western hemlock was a little bit more tricky. I was kind of axing at it. And then ultimately the machete brought us home. The alder was substantially easier. The logic also is, you're exposing it either way. When I drill holes to insert the oyster mushroom plugs, I'll then apply wax over top of that to prevent, again, the injury from becoming a source of problems. The wax I'll be using is just a Parawax. They use it for canning. That's where I found it in the store. It is food grade and also used for candle making. I'll be using a 5/16 drill bit, and I've put some tape to indicate where an inch is. I went a hair above an inch. The colonized Doyle's here, that's the oyster mushrooms, those are what's going inside. So roughly 4 inches apart, and let's just, yeah, so a little lovely hole there. And when harvesting the wood, you want it to be fresh so that it's not dried out and that it hasn't been colonized or taken over by other competing organisms or fungi. But not too fresh to where the natural fungicidal properties remain. These two pieces of wood, if anything, I've erred on the too early side. So I've got a nice little pattern of holes all over this western hemlock stick log. Again, then I'll just put the blue oyster mushroom plugs in. I'll be melting wax. I'll show you how to do that here in a minute. And then covering it up, creating a nice seal, and good. So I've got the alder here, and the alder was substantially easier to debark. Just looks like a nicer piece of wood for whatever reason. So making good time. So the western hemlock piece is about, okay, so that's only 2.5 inches in diameter. That's a little light. Maybe it'll colonize faster. So, and then the alder, we're looking at about 4. My vision originally was these giant stumps. That, however, could take years to colonize, and this is a little easier to move. So I've got my mallet and I've got my blue oyster plugs. I've washed my hands. I turned on the laminar flow hood, but a lot of this feels like it's something you can just go into the backyard and attack that stump that isn't doing anything. So, but since I got it here and I can be clean, I'll be clean. So we'll see here, I think, let's check it out. Okay, it's a tight fit. It's a tight fit. Who knows? Let's see. I don't want to be mean. You tell I've never done this before. So it's in there. And I'm just going to go around the horn, fill this puppy up. I've got the wax melted, and I'm going to fill all the holes and then double back and do the waxing rather than 1, 1, 1, 1. So I have inserted the plugs. You can see them there. The inch depth seemed about right. Maybe you could go a little deeper. But I got them nice and sparsed out there. Very kind of a pretty texture. And now I will apply wax. But let me do another one of these. I'll show you. Yeah, it's the dripping that's going to drive me nuts. Yeah, it instantly starts to dry. You can kind of tell what I'm doing here a little bit. Got the waxes on there. Okay, so I have completed the alder plug and waxing. I'm almost thinking that I missed one. But I'm feeling pretty good about it. And excellent. I do have some extra plugs, so I may go attack the stump. Right, our western hemlock friend is complete. And let the games begin. Who will win? Alder or western hemlock? All in all, a great experience. Areas for improvement. Really defining what tree I want. Cutting the tree down 2 weeks prior to use. The wax was a bit messy. Anything that touches it is just for that now. And tools for taking the bark off, or further understanding of how to do that in the best way for the project. Had a great time though. Gonna keep doing it.